relationship consolation for young single men in their early 20s. So when I was in my early 20s, I could not have a relationship. I didn't really have a true relationship until like mid 20s. So this is for those of you that are really being hard on yourselves. You're being hard on yourselves. Maybe you're a teenager, maybe you're like young adult, you're in your early 20s. Yeah, so this could apply. Maybe you're in your 30s too. This can kind of help. So I'm just trying to console you here because people are maybe being a little difficult on themselves. Look, it gets better. Look, if I can do it, anyone can. I mean, that's start from there. Yeah, like I would always have like platonic friendships with people, women and whatnot, but they wouldn't really look at me as like boyfriend material until, well, just quickly how it happened for me. Like I got a job, started making money, I had like manager level, and people were like taking notice. Oh wow, he's got a job. He sounds kind of intelligent, and they're kind of taking notice. And then, once they got to know me beyond the looks, they found that maybe I was humorous at times. Most of the time I'm pretty serious, but I could be funny once you kind of got to know me. And then, women are entertaining the fact that, like, I was a catch, kind of mid-20s after I graduated from university. Nothing really happened throughout university. Nothing happened in high school. Nothing special. Some parties, different events, but, no serious relationships. And, I was kind of hard on myself all those years. It didn't really make any difference. I was trying to force things that really weren't going to happen until much later. So I didn't really know that, but now I know that. So this is why I'm trying to console you single men out there. I'm only speaking to men because I really don't know a woman's situation. I only know a man's situation. I'm 31 and I'm a man, so I don't really know anything about the opposite sex and how that works. It's not right for me to comment on that because I've only lived my early 20s and teens as like a man, and I continue to do so for the rest of my life, living as a man. I don't want to get into all the other stuff that's going on out there, but you do you. Okay, so it gets better. It does. Like I mentioned, you focus on the money, okay? Focus on your education. Focus on the steps that you need for yourself to grow. It might seem lonely. You might not have a relationship. You'll feel lonely because it's all you. Well, guess what? If you're keeping yourself occupied with your studies, you shouldn't even have time. And, you can do your occasional parties. Don't put so much pressure on yourself. Look, if you don't have it in the looks department, that's perhaps going to affect you. A bigger landscape here. You see young women in their 20s. Yeah, they might entertain college kids, but they're also dating beyond college. So people my age. So I was the person who these college girls were dating as I got older. So you focus on the self. I don't want to digress too much, but I probably will. Focus on improving yourself, exercising, eating the right food. None of that. I didn't really do any of that. To be honest, I didn't even do that. But you could do that after you've graduated. You do the right things for your self-development, then you'll see more success. You see, I didn't do any of it. I didn't really care about myself, so no wonder I didn't have any relationships. And maybe that's you. So the single men in their early 20s, maybe you're not taking care of yourself. You could do that and it would improve your situation. But I just want to mention, like, when you get older, your pool widens. Once you hit like 24, 25, now you can date women younger than you. You could actually date women older than you, and you will have developed intellectually. You will have learned some things. You will have experienced some things, and you'll be more interesting to talk to. Your pool just widens as you kind of get older. So you have to keep that in mind. That's a positive. When you're in university, you're learning, and you don't really have enough to really talk about, and people won't find you interesting, especially if you're a teenager. You're younger than your 20s. It's like, good luck. A woman will find it interesting if you have something to say, or you can add to the conversation. I'll go into that maybe a bit more. I want to stick to my notes here. Yeah, it's interesting. Like, I dated older women when I was younger. It was kind of weird. And then I dated younger women when I was older, when I got older. Like, once I hit my 30s, like 30, now I'm 31. Oh, but I've been dating, like, women that are younger have gravitated towards me, like in their mid-20s and whatnot. And it's bizarre to me. I don't understand it. It's not that I'm pushing for it. It just sort of happened that way. So I'm sharing this experience to console you. The whole point is consolation here. But if you had worked on yourself over those years, you will be intelligent enough to hold a conversation, which is a huge attraction factor. You should be trying to talk to men and women. When I was in university, I really didn't put too much pressure on dating, because I really didn't think I was dating material at the time anyway. But that actually allowed me to talk to many more women, allowed me to talk to them intellectually about things, and there was no worry that some sort of attraction would happen. That was just off the table, because I really wasn't showing any signs of interest. So that actually was very freeing for me. And that allowed me to just converse with the opposite sex whenever. I didn't have to worry about it. There was no intention behind it. The minute I started thinking, I needed to attract the person, there was anxiety and build-up and nervousness, and conversations were terrible, study groups were bad, and it just all fell apart. But once I just took all that away, I was able to converse and improve and grow and develop. Again, that helped in my later years. Because then I would look at a woman as just another person and not some sort of pedestal or plateau or something that's like that I had to reach, or some sort of goal. They're just people, and you should talk to them as normal people and not add any sort of attraction into the factor of things, because that's not really important when you're trying to study and learn. Just get comfortable talking instead. Avoid the texting. When you're in the conversations with the groups, I know texting is a big thing. That might be a good lead-in, but be comfortable just conversing without any expectation. That's going to work wonders for you down the road. I just want to mention, looks will make it easy for you. If you're in college, university, and you've got the looks, you're honestly going to have no problems here. This is basically not really a conversation for you. But, actually, you might have the looks. Maybe you're shy. Or, I don't know, maybe you just don't have the humor or intellect down. Then you might struggle. You see, you don't need the looks if you have intellect or humor. Or you don't need the humor if you have intellect or looks. Or you don't need the intellect if you have humor and looks. You see those three, intellect, humor, looks. If you can have 2 out of the 3, you can probably get by with not having the other. Having some signs of any of them would be good. So, yeah, looks can make it easy for you. Although when somebody starts talking to you and you're just like a dead wall, it might not last, and your relationship will die. And that's why those three things, looks, humor, intellect, actually looks can be improved. You work on your hygiene, make some adjustments to your physique through exercise, improve your diet, like I mentioned, yourself. Like, looks can actually be improved physically. Your face, you can't really change too much unless you want to do some surgery. Ugh. But you can improve the rest of your body, and that can help. But you can improve your humor, you can improve your intellect through study. So work on that. Now, if you are shy, you've tried a bunch of things and things are just not working for you, well, like I said, don't put so much pressure on yourself. Later on, like I said, mid-20s, into your 30s, things do improve. Example, right here, things improved. But if you're shy, you can use online dating apps. Some people may or may not like this, but hey, the apps are a real thing. Social anxiety is a big issue these days, and many women actually prefer to start the conversation online now. So you're doing the women a favor by not bombarding them. You have a conversation online. Now, this is where the looks department can be helpful, but actually the women who aren't shallow, they might kind of like bypass that just to get to know you. And then if you've got your conversation down, you've got maybe your humor down just a little bit, well, then they'll just overlook the looks department and they'll appreciate your other qualities. Like, that's what you have to keep in mind. 10 years ago, online dating was seen as strange. Like, it wasn't the thing. It wasn't the thing to do. Now, it's very mainstream. Okay, that's basically it. Hopefully that sort of sheds some light on things. Look, I've dated women of all different kind of success levels, and I've dated women of all kinds of different qualities, and it's always just interesting to get to know them and treat them like human beings, because that's the way we want to be treated, so that's how we should treat them. There's a time for like the nagging and like the cockiness and all of that. You can add that later. You can add that swagger later. Like, it doesn't have to be right off the bat, because then you just come off kind of sleazy. So don't put so much pressure on trying to be this cool person. Although, what would I know? When I was that age, I wasn't really a cool person. Perhaps it could help. If you got that leather jacket, maybe you should rock it. I'm just talking about the single men in their early 20s who are struggling, and maybe they don't have the swagger. Well, that kind of comes with age. And as you get older, you start to realize the swagger is not that important anyways. It's more about, is there the connection? Is there the chemistry? Is there the two-way street? That becomes more important. Okay, hopefully that's some consolation. If you go wait a couple of years, things will turn around for you. Just be patient. Okay, till next time. Bye.